Right, welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality Cast. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Phelps, and my co-host and very good friend is Mr. Dave Horrocks.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. We are covering The Circle, Season 4, Episodes 9 through to 12. Now, Chris, you're the one who suggested The Circle. Initially, at least, you loved it. What did you reckon to this latest batch of episodes?
Well, Dave, you know my judgment. You know that I'm rash. You know that I jump in there. And I've enjoyed The Circle, mentioned it, you know, previously. I put my name down to try and audition to go on it. I love the idea of it. This series has bored me to tears. They're just too slick, too prepared. It looks like there's a lot of off-camera direction with what's going on. Everyone is just absolutely on point. And I know we said it in the last episode, like, and I said, like, I just want someone who doesn't have a clue what a hashtag is or a fucking, you know what I mean? Like, just things where someone who's older is trying to be younger and you've got that confusion and they're tripping themselves up. Even like people like the guy who played Nathan, Alex, they were just too good. They were too good. I know he's playing a younger kid. And I found myself there really bored towards the end. And I'll be honest with you, I hold my hands up. Been great for us to podcast. You know, I love when it's just me and you chatting and everyone interacting with us. And there's been plenty of our listeners have been tuning in and everything and commenting. But this, I think I'm off the Circle train for us covering it as a podcast because I just think I found that I was fucking grinding my teeth. I was trying to find things to do. You know, I mean, we review some god-awful movies on our other podcasts. And literally sometimes you think, I can't sit here for an hour and a half, especially if me and you stitched each other up with some absolutely awful shit show of a movie. We have to do something productive so it justifies watching it, you know, or whatever. This was just a grind. And I just found it really boring. The only one that really pissed me off, and I'm glad that she didn't win, it was Yuling. Absolute fake nice person. She was just playing the game. That's the whole point. You want to win the 150 grand. But it was the way that as soon as she got rumbled, she blamed everyone else. And I was thinking, don't you win it. Please don't win it. And I did like it when she was flirting with Nathan and it was Alex. And she's like, come on over. And he's sending the six-pack pictures and everything. And she's sending the sexy pictures. And I'm like, oh, you are going to be disappointed, Yuling. But other than that, that's the only thing I had to stand out, which is a shame, really, because it started so strong. And I'm glad, you know, I know we're covering towards the end of the series, but I'm just glad that we got the winner we did because I don't think anyone else was really in the running, to be honest, Dave. There was a few shocks, like Carol went, John, who played his mum, Brew went. I was shocked. But again, Yuling again playing games, Dave. She was very clever at getting these alliances and then basically going, fuck you, which is good TV, but she wasn't a baddie. But I was just like, if you're going to do that, stick to the game plan. And that's it. You're just playing everybody. But then when she like had to meet people, I think she like, oh, I'm so gutted. Hashtag missing him. And I'm like, fuck off.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the only thing I can pick out at the moment of what happened in the last few episodes.
Yeah, I mean, Yuling, I think we called her out in the previous batch of episodes, didn't we? Because the way she was with Alicia.
Yes.
She was just like, oh, no, it wasn't Alicia. Well, it was Alicia who went under the bus. What was the girl's name, the basketball player?
Chrissa.
Was it Chrissa, was it?
Yeah, Chrissa.
So she was like, oh, I wish I'd have fought harder. It's like, fuck off. Yeah. So I don't know if she's just naturally very good at, trying to be the nice guy all the time and just being hugely fake. So I must admit, I did find it funny, like yourself, when she was flirting with quote unquote Nathan. It's like, you're in for a shock. So no, that was really good. But I thought the only bit that caught my eyes really was when the guy playing Nathan, absolutely, he was a strategist. He wasn't as good as what he thought he was, but he threw Brew completely under the bus, didn't he? And I thought, fair play to you. This is a game. So there's no real relationships. There's no loyalty. You don't know these people. So I appreciated him playing the game there.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting because like with Alex, he was a good guy. And obviously we got the videos from home, didn't we? And he was going at his girlfriend, how much he loved his girlfriend. She loved him. And he was getting really, and everyone was getting teared up with the families. I'm sure I would be if you're in that situation. You've not seen your family for whatever amount of time. But it was interesting with Imani, a.k.a. Trevor, Delisa's husband, who'd won it the last time. Really nice guy. He got right to the last two. I don't know how he come in and did really well and was very popular. But nobody suspected that he was a catfish, Dave. I was really shocked that he played it. Well, he was even flirting with Everson at one point. And I was sat there going, oh, no. But he was like...
oh, yeah.
yeah. And Trevor's like, yeah, boo, and all this. So I was like, oh, he's very clever. He's been listening to Delise, and she's giving some guidance because obviously flipping it, she played him in the last series. And so I did like that about it. And I think they were the only ones that really stood out because I think even when everyone got to meet each other, nobody expected Imani not to be Imani, basically. They were so shocked by that. Everyone else was sort of like, are they real? Is Frank real? And everyone was like, shit. And obviously at the end, he was the only one who was a catfish in the last five, which was I thought it was good. I did think the last 10 minutes of the show was good because everyone sort of found out who was who. And when the original cast who'd been booted were having a drink and then everyone come in and they were like, holy shit, like Carol, Johnny did not expect Nathan to be a catfish. It was really good that. I do like that because you can clearly see it's a genuine reaction. It's not a take two. They all come in and go, holy shit. So I did like that. But I just think in between, there was just too much polish. And I still piss myself that it's the middle of fucking Salford, which is one of the roughest parts of fucking Manchester. And they still have the flat there, but they show aerial shots of some New York or Canadian city, New York, some American or Canadian city, wherever it is. It's so funny that it just makes me piss because it's a proper shithole where that's filmed.
I'm sure we must have discussed this on the last one, but I've never seen a red brick building in the type of city that they show, from the aerial shots and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I think I've seen red brick in like New Jersey and stuff like that, but not where they're showing, which, like you say, looks like, I don't know, Toronto or something, up in Canada maybe. But it makes me wonder what the hell do they do with that building, like for all the other months around the year?
I'm wondering. I've got a feeling, Dave, that this is franchised across the world. I've got a feeling that it might just be one where they own the building and they roll it for different countries, maybe an Australian one.
Right.
And maybe, because you do get it with like Love Island, don't you? Like we found this like Love Island, Sweden, Holland, obviously I don't speak any of them languages. If they were in English, then we probably would have covered it by now. But I've got a feeling The Circle's a massive franchise because now it's on Netflix as well. I bet it's released all over because if you look on the Netflix UK, you do get stuff like Love is Blind, but a different version. You've got Temptation, I don't know, from different parts of the world. The shows we cover, there is different versions from around the world on there as well. There's a Brazilian.
Yeah.
Is it the Brazilian Love is Blind? There's one with subtitles. I can't remember what it is.
I think there was a Brazilian Too Hot to Handle.
That's it.
There?
Too Hot to Handle. Sorry, Too Hot to Handle. So I think it's a franchise building because I can't believe that they would let people stay in there for a couple of months and then start filming. But
it's a big building, though, isn't it? I mean, considering they only use a few of the flats, and you would assume that they're all, on different floors and well away from each other, because the amount of screaming and stuff they do, if it was an actual flat, you'd be able to just hear it if you were next door or something.
Yeah, you know what? That's a good point. I mean, unless, and I know it was filmed there for a long time, unless because the UK one's been sort of sunset on it at the moment. So unless they've using that as the main, that's the Circle building, but they're actually somewhere else, and it's a bit like, I know you don't watch them, but the Kardashians are the best, Dave. They always film outside of a house and go, we're just going to Kim's house. And at the end of the film, it's like, that's not Kim's house. We're just using so people don't come and disturb at a real house and stuff. So whether it's a fake, they don't own it anymore, and they're just sort of stock footage, I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to research it because last time it was genuinely filmed there. The American one, the UK one, they were all filmed within that building. So I'll have a bit of info before we do our next podcast.
Yeah. And what did you think to the winner, Frank? You think I went to the right person? I
do, yeah. And he was very genuine. I know Brew had his suspicions, and I was a bit thingy, is he real? But I thought he was a lovely guy. And them tears were real at the end, Dave. They was proper he was in bits, wasn't he? Absolutely in bits. 150 grand, gone away. It'll probably change his life, buy a house, whatever he needs in life. And I tell you why I wanted him to win, Dave, was when he was talking with his friends and it was like, you've lost your mum and your dad, your grandparents. He's got no family, pretty much, by the sounds of it. His friends are his family. And he said that, didn't he? Like them. So he must have a very, very lonely life, Frank, other than his friends. So I was like, no, I want him to win. At that point, I wanted him to win then. I was like, no, I want you to win over everyone else.
Yeah. And Trevor this time didn't manage to win it, as Imani. So obviously Trevor won it last time, didn't he? His wife was playing him as a catfish, but came runner-up. I was a bit surprised by that, to be honest, coming in so late.
Yeah, I was, Dave, because there was a bit there when he gets to the last two, I was thinking, I thought if Trevor won it, Imani, I thought this is a setup, this. They've got like, I can't remember how much the Lisa won. So say it was 100 grand. They got 250 grand out of this show if he'd have won it. I wasn't comfortable with that, even though he's a nice guy and everything and a lovely family and everything. But I wasn't comfortable with that at all. I thought, no, I don't think he deserves to win it. It had to be him or it had to be Frank for me, without a doubt. And I couldn't see anyone else. Like Rachel came in and she was quite popular, but I didn't think she offered a lot.
I thought she seemed quite genuine though, Rachel, and she got over that whole thing where everyone thought she was a Spice Girl, and she just seemed genuinely nice to me, Rachel.
Oh yeah, she's a nice person. It didn't stand out to me to say, oh, you should win. I think Frank was there. He kept winning. The popularity contest, he won every time, didn't he? He was always the influencer, always, every time he won it, he was the influencer, so it had to be him.
And I'm sure from the previous seasons we've watched as well, when they hit the top so early on, so Frank was voted first in the first episode. Yeah. But when they do that, everyone's like, oh, well, they're popular. So, what can I do to kind of disrupt that? But there was none of that really, was there? Everything was, if it was an ice cream, this series, Chris, it would be vanilla. Now, I do like vanilla, but...
What are you going to say? Be melted?
No, that's just me. I'm trying to lose a bit of weight. Melted ice cream. But no, absolutely. I think Frank was the winner. I did like Rachel, like I say, but not the same charisma, I don't think. No,
I don't. And funny enough, Dave, we have actually had an email about the circle. Nice. So our good friend Jillian, who is a brand new patron, so thank you for supporting us, Jillian. We really appreciate it. She sent a really, really nice email. So it's entitled The Circle, Books and Bellends. Now, that maybe me and you, Dave, I don't know. But hi, Chris and Dave. I'm so excited you're covering The Circle, but I agree with you that the contestants are trying too hard this season. Same thing happened last season as well. But having your recap to look forward to makes it more bearable. It's too bad the UK version was cancelled because I was really looking forward to Chris being guest on the show. Probably the only one, Jillian. But there you go. But here's my 2 cents. You should both apply to be on the next season of the US version and catfish as Dave dressed as Sporty Spice. Instant win. Someone's been on our social media, Instagram there, Dave. If anyone's seen that picture of Dave, I'll tell you what. 20 years ago.
Of others, actually. I think I'll dig them out.
It was quite worrying how good you did look, Dave, because I took
honestly, the blokes in that nightclub thought so as well. They were very pinchy.
Yeah, well,
fucking men.
Well, yeah, exactly. But yeah, I did comment underneath. I probably would, but anyway, this would be an instant win. That would definitely spice things up if there were more photos out there. We need to see them all. So, Dave, the challenges have been set, my friend. I want to see these pictures in the cold light of day.
I'll get on it this weekend.
Okay, fair enough. So get over to our Instagram, guys, at CD Realitycast, because I'm going to be checking it quite regularly now. Not from a private collection, just for research purposes. Anyway, on another note, I know you said you probably won't be covering the Bachelorette this summer. Probably, yeah, probably.
Maybe.
I was wondering if you'd be able to give a shout out to a Bachelor-inspired book that I wrote and published. I actually wrote a lot of this in between listening to your Love Island recaps last summer. I can't wait for next season. So that's really nice, that, Jillian. And I'm going to put a link in the podcast notes, guys. It's entitled Iris, and it's on Amazon by Jillian. So, Dave, what can we say? That's lovely, that she listens to the podcast. and been inspired. Whether we've inspired her or she's just really brilliant that she's wrote a book about it.
I like to think that we just attract the more discerning listeners, Chris. You know, the who are looking for that detailed intellectual analysis. You know, we've got book authors out there. It's all how I envisage it in my head.
Yeah, exactly. Well, she knows us well at the end, though, Dave, because she's told us about a book, which, like I say, I'll put the notes in, guys, so you can have a look at that. But she's also put back at the end, which is brilliant, someone who listens to the podcast. By the way, I'm very excited for Whatabella merchandise. I'd wear it proudly. So that's all on me. Dave told you leave it with me. I've got some designs.
How are those designs getting on?
Anyway, so thanks, Jillian. The booklet, and she's put old enough to know who Rod Stewart is, Dave. So she definitely listens to the show. So thank you, Jillian. That's really good. Regarding the merchandise, yes, Chris will be on this now because I've had a few people asking. I announced that you pissed yourself laughing, knew we'd be in this situation 6 weeks down the line. But here we are. Anyway, but Dave, before we do all the thank yous to everyone, we're going to be doing a preview episode of Love Island, my friend, and I'm rubbing my hands because it is incoming.
Oh, God, I'm kind of excited, but I'm also horrified at the idea of 2 months.
It's longer than 2 months because the thing is, someone asked and I think you put on Discord, didn't you? It's how back mine and Chrissy's relationship is at the end of it.
Yeah, there'll be plenty of drama.
At some point, we will reveal behind the curtain how we got them episodes out, but we can't at the moment.
Maybe not for a few years.
Maybe not when we've retired. Yeah, when we've retired. But there you go. But we did do a podcast every day. How we're going to go about this, I don't know, guys, but we're going to try our best and do our original OG Love Island format. Obviously, the podcast was the Love Island cast originally before it becomes CD reality. So I love it, but maths has taken over for me, Love Island. Love Island's got to offer more, Dave. And we're going to do a preview episode. We've got the trailer. I've got all the contestants. I'm going to tee them up for you, Dave. You don't really know who they are, but maybe one contestant. And then we'll do what we normally do. A little preview, a little short episode, and then we're straight in on the 6th of June, guys, for the first episode, which is Monday. So I cannot wait. It
does sound good. I mean, to be honest, we haven't really hit the heights since that season 5 when me and you first started podcasting about it. I don't think the series itself has been as good as that. And I know 3 and 4 gets a lot of adulation as well, doesn't it? Love from people who say that was good as well. But hopefully, we can have an explosive season this season.
I hope so, Dave. We need some proper shithouses, proper drama, proper people coming in, stealing people off, and none of this fucking playing the Instagram game. We need it. But anyway, let me leave my powder dry on that, Dave, until we get into the next episode. So big thank you again. Thank you, Jillian, as well, as I said before. So get over to patreon.com/CD RealityCast if you want to support us, guys. And we really appreciate everyone who supported us past and present. If you want to follow us on social media, as I said earlier, at CD RealityCast. And if you want to email us, cdrealitycast@gmail.com. So today's roll call of honour is Luckily the Green, Lauren, Susan, Priscilla, Dee Dee, Katie, Joanna, Noreen, Brianna, Helen, Keith, and Jillian. So thank you so much, guys. It's really, really appreciated. So, Mr. Horrocks, we are off, and it is Love Island incoming. Big full stop on Circle, and that may be sunsetted now on the podcast thing.
I think so. Glad we watched it, but let's see what's round the corner after Love Island, and I'm not sure it'll be the Circle, but can't wait to get into a bit of Love Island. So thanks everyone out there for listening, and we'll speak to you next time.
Bye.